Hi, Mr. Goldberg. This is what's available of our group right now. We are using Google Circle Hangouts on Air to do our mediated
Okay,
presentation.
hello everyone. My name is Justina, and I will talk about the importance of meditation and how it positively affects our bodies and the factors that get in the way of it. But first, I want to address factors and emotional states that can be relieved if meditation is routinely performed. So, descriptions of how people feel when they're stressed. It could be, someone's overwhelmed, someone, their heart races, they have sweaty hands. So, those are basically some of the descriptions of when people feel stress and have anxiety over something. We all experience stress in our lives, especially during college, as an example. Because of exams, responsibilities, sports, involvements, and just trying to figure out what you want to do with your life. After a college student finishes a big exam or a paper or a big project, he or she has experienced stress and possibly has promised him or herself that they will be better prepared for next time. Oh, I'll study more, I'll study earlier, I'll be more prepared. However, just because one promises something doesn't mean it will happen. One must take action to actually do it. Have you ever wondered how the way one feels affects the brain's memory, behaviors, and performance? Those who experience immense stress and anxiety, they know it's hard to focus. There's like a uh, narrow like focus that's it's all over the place. Um, there's a lack of energy, not enough time. Learning information gets difficult, and you are carrying out basic functions is harder because of the impairment. Bad habits, they hinder, like they stop us from changing. Like let's say the example of exams. Like if I want to do better, oh, I'll study harder. But if you're already in that habit of studying the night before, it's really hard to break that habit. And if there's repeated failure, the mindset can turn to negative thoughts. And that's why it's important to keep a positive attitude and set goals and also add meditation. Did you know that meditating 27 minutes a day over an 8-week period can substantially change your brain and alter behaviors? Through meditation, one will improve concentration, memory, and reduce harmful effects of anxiety. So, how does anxiety and stress affect the body? So, when it's stressed, the body literally feels and believes it's dying. And then also when someone has anxiety, the body is sort of responding to a perceived danger or a threat. So, such as public speaking, someone can feel anxiety when presenting, but their body feels it's a like a danger or a threat, and that's why they feel like that. But there really is nothing to be worried about. Obviously, it doesn't sound very fun or good to feel this way. Uh, so let's use the example of college students. It's the day before the exam, and the student's heart rate has increased. He or she starts to indulge in junk foods, chips, ice cream, as opposed to a healthy meal, broccoli, something, chicken. Um, and then he or she or probably won't get enough sleep because it is exams time, and they want to increase their time when they study and not and not sleep as well. Getting less sleep affects the brain in a way that disrupts the student's rational decision making, making them indulge in those bad foods, for example. Also, bad foods and lack of sleep affect the focus and attention and possible interrupting and remembering of that material that has been learned. So, bad habits. College students promise themselves after poorly preparing for an exam that they will study harder and earlier for the next one. Most of the time that doesn't happen. Why? Because we're just so deeply rooted in our bad habits, that actually changing the behavior takes more energy and effort. So those who experience failure in life may be discouraged to try the same behavior again. Let's take the example of exercising. So New Year's resolution is to lose weight and go to the gym. But somewhere around February or the first couple months, no one sees many results, so they get discouraged. So next time they plan to set a routine to exercise again, they're less likely to do it because of that failure or lack of success before. The power of positive thinking helps the brain, like it changes the mindset, and is the first step in preparing to break those habits and motivate oneself to meditate. So words of encouragement, thinking about the future, and setting goals help. Thinking about the past brings on bad experiences and fears of failures, whereas thinking in the current moment, the present, will help build awareness of that action done at that moment, and it's crucial in attaining those future goals. So if I'm thinking right now in the present, and I'm thinking, oh, this is like positively, then that will help me set and look forward to the future, my future goals, as opposed to looking in the past and remembering something bad and failures and not do it. So benefits of meditating. Use some examples. So when meditating, the person enters a state of mindfulness, which is defined as non-judgmental awareness of experiences in the present moment. So the benefits are it lowers stress by decreasing the levels of the stress hormone, which is called cortisol, in the brain, and it also affects the ability to handle the stress and recover fast from it. The brain changes in the way that it protects itself against mental illnesses because of the increased signaling connections in the brain and increased protective tissues. For those who are diagnosed with an illness such as cancer, meditating and successfully decreases their depression and their stress symptoms, which are linked with the brain changes related to the stress. Have you guys ever wondered why a person describes being more focused after meditating? So according to a study in the journal Frontiers in Human Neuroscience, it helps the brain have a better control over processing pain and emotions, specifically through the control of cortical alpha rhythms, which play a role in what senses our minds are attentive to. So for college students, meditating can help them with their grades. So improvement in their working memory, improving cognitive functions and reasoning. Meditation can also decrease the feelings of loneliness, especially seen in elderly people, and it also boosts health by reducing the expression of the genes linked with inflammation. During the winter, also, since we're about to hit winter, meditating decreases the effects and the severity of the colds you experience, and it shortens the duration of the cold if you meditate. Meditation also helps you sleep better by controlling moods and emotions during the day. Higher mindfulness was associated with lower activation at bedtime, which could have benefits of sleep quality and future ability to manage stress. So, keeping up with it. Think of 3 goals you have in your life, whether they are to get better grades, work on aggressiveness, or get more sleep. Now plan a schedule to meditate. Find 10 minutes a day, maybe when you wake up, or before you go to bed, or sometime in the afternoon, and go to a place where it's very quiet and just sit there and meditate. Meditation influences not only like someone's behavior, emotions, and reduces in stress and anxiety, but if it's done over a long period of time, it can actually change the brain and how it functions. So keeping up with it is very important for the body and the brain's health and well-being. When will you break your habits?